What up, y'all? It's your boy Salim, JTM Salim from movementsound.org. Head to the website so you can find all the links to my social medias and check out my music for free, right? Stream it for free and download it for whatever price that you want it to be. Right now, I'm walking. We came to the shipper super early, and we were hoping that they were going to load us, but unfortunately, they're not loading us. We gotta wait till 8 p.m. So I was like, shoot, I might as well shoot a video while I'm at it, right? I think we are in Wisconsin. Yeah, we're in Wisconsin. We're gonna be delivering to somewhere in Michigan. The truck is back there. Yep. My co-driver is making us some noodles. Yeah. No matter how much money we making, cause we're gonna still eat noodles. Hey, yeah, bro. Now we do also cook rice and stuff too, though. But yeah, that's besides the point. I actually put this on because it looks like it's a lot of down people jogging. I don't know what type of neighborhood I'm in, but I didn't want to seem like some random guy with a camera in his hand. So I wanted to make sure they know I am at work. But that's that. Besides the point. I don't want to take too long on this video. The question I want to answer on this video is: would I stop making music if streaming was not paying? Right? Or would I stop making music if I didn't make no money from music? I think that's a better question. And to answer that, there's many ways I can answer that, honestly. Because there was a time where my music wasn't paying, right? There was a time where I remember Apple Music, every week they would send out a report. And that report would say 0 people were listening that week, right? I remember those times where the only time people would listen, it's kind of getting loud, but the only time people would listen was when I dropped a new project, right? When there was a hype around that project, they would listen, and then after that, it would fall down. I remember those times. And around those times, I wasn't making much money from the streams. I wasn't selling any merch, right? I wasn't hosting my own shows. I was opening up for other people. I wasn't making money, but I was still making music. I still enjoyed the process of making the music, picking the beat, and expressing my emotions and telling my story on the beat. I enjoyed it. And even when it comes to doing shows, I was opening up for people. There was a time where I was opening up for, I guess, a celebrity, you could say. And I really thought I couldn't sell no tickets. And because I couldn't sell no tickets, I didn't even try. I still went and opened up, but I never tried to even sell the tickets, But even then, I was still making music. I was still enjoying it. But I don't know what time it was or around what year. At some point, maybe it's when I graduated, I was just like, bro, I gotta make money off of this. In order for this to make sense, it has to make sense, And I got to a point where it's like, yo, if this is not making, I don't want to just make the music just for the enjoyment of it. I want to make money off of it. So I went on a journey to figure out how to make money off of this thing, And believe it or not, I figured it out. Eventually, I learned, hold on, let the truck pass. Eventually, I learned how to sell the tickets when I was opening up for people, right? Eventually, I learned how to book my own venues and sell my own tickets to my own audience, right? Eventually, I learned how to get music placements on playlists and get on radio and TV internationally and get that hype that I needed around my brand or whatnot, so people would be listening to my music and the streams would pay. And they did. I remember the first show that I hosted, I broke even. I made $2,000 that night. I remember when I first launched the website, I had people paying every single month. I think it was $5 at the time, $5 a month to listen to the music exclusively. It was working. I remember at the same time while the website was launched, people were buying merch. It was working. And I was giving away merch as well. It was working. I also remember from the streams I was making $500, $800, $1,000, $2,000. It was great. Things were really working. I was like, yes, this is what I wanted. I wanted to make money off of my music, and I figured it out. And then it slowed down. It slowed down. I don't know what it is, but it slowed down. I also slowed down as well on creating the music because I wanted more. For the things that I wanted to build for my business, the things that I wanted to do for artists, for my life, my future kids or whatever, I needed more. I couldn't wait on a $2,000 check from DistroKid every 3 months. So I decided I didn't want music to be my business anymore. And what I mean by that is I no longer wanted to make or have to make money off of music. I wanted to build a business around the music that would allow me to find the enjoyment of just creating the music again. Because once you start making money off of the music, what happens is it takes the fun out of it. It really does. It really takes the fun of it. Now you're looking at the streaming numbers because you want to make a certain amount of money that month. Now you're looking at the ticket sales, right? It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. And I realized if I can get to a point where I build a company or a business outside of my music that makes me the money that I want to invest into the other businesses that I want to do or help the artists that I want to help, I would take the stress off of my music and I would fall back in love with just creating the art. So that's when I not only got my commercial license, but we launched our first logistics company. Right? We launched our first logistics company. And here we are today. We're renting out our first equipment here in the States, Casti. We're working on getting our first equipment in Kenya for our first driver. It's going pretty good. The company's super profitable. And it's the company that's going to be funding my next project coming out pretty soon. You can head over to movementsound.org, join the mailing list for early announcements, right? I even created a private link for close friends, family, and audio or my supporters that can listen to it, check it out before the album is even complete. I'm falling back in love with creating the music, I can say. And I'm excited. So, I guess I answered the question. If the music didn't make money, would I still make music? And the answer is yes, because I found a way where I can build a company or a business around my music that would fund my music so I can fall in love with just creating again. Right? Because, bro, I'm a musician at heart. Just like I said, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I think a musician is an entrepreneur, but I love music, bro. It's in me. It's what I do. I hear melodies, right? It just comes to me. I don't have to force it. It's something that I can do effortlessly. So I can't just abandon it. Excuse me. Yeah, I can't just abandon it. I just got to do it, man. My guy's taking a jog, Castillo. He's taking a jog. But yeah, I can't just abandon it. It's in me. So, yeah. Yeah, that's all I got. It's your boy Salim. Some people are going to say you changed, but I didn't. I just didn't have a platform to share my thoughts. And that's why you can only hear these conversations right here on Salim Talks. See you on the next one.